with that, we now can get into our winners and losers from the week. We'll start with the winners, Justin Jefferson, the Bills' run game, and Kenny Pickett. But let's start with Pickett. How impressed were you with the Steelers QB in his play?
He struggled for much of the game, and the conditions were terrible. We know that. But every quarterback has their moment. In late November, we saw Trevor Lawrence have his against the Baltimore Ravens, and he arrived. He drove them down to a winning touchdown. Well, I think this is the moment for Kenny Pickett. The weather is terrible. He hasn't done anything. His passer rating was 64 going into the final drive. And all he does is go 7-9 for 75 yards and throw the game-winning touchdown to George Pickens. Those are the kind of drives where quarterbacks look around after the game and they say, you know what? I can do this. Despite the fact that their offense, sometimes a lot of people question the play calling, Kenny Pickett went out there and did it in crunch time, and I give him a ton of credit for what he did in that game.
So his play was solid. We know a lot about the play of Josh Allen. It's always been superb as the Bills clinch their third straight AFC East title. But the other part of that offense, the run game, if they can show how they did on Saturday, how tough of a team are they?
But, Sean McDermott loves to play great defense, and even with Josh Allen, he prefers to run the football. He wants to be able to run it when they need to run it, and that's always been the question for them. It wasn't a question for them on Saturday against the Bears. They pounded it. They ran for 254 yards. The last time they did that was 6 years ago. And when you look at the way they ran the ball, there's explosive runs in there from Cook. There's explosive runs from Singletary. Singletary went for 106. Cook went for 99. For once, Josh Allen didn't have to carry them as the running attack, and that's important for them. So I think it's big. Look, they're not a run team, but you have to be able to run it when you need to run it. And that means in the second half if you have a lead. So from that standpoint, big performance by the Bills running the football.
Getting to your losers now, we have Tua, the Lions' run defense, and Derek Carr. We talked a lot of Packers earlier, so now time to get into Tua. He ends the game with 3 straight possessions, all with picks. How concerned are you with the Dolphins and his play?
Yeah, I'm very concerned about both, to be honest with you. Look, 5 weeks ago, we sat here and we said Tua, and I did too, we said Tua's in the MVP conversation. Since then, it's gone in the opposite direction. And look, this pick, that's a miscommunication. Mostert took accountability for it. But the other 2 were terrible. This one at the end of the game, that's a sophomore read. That's what that is. He's got the in cut right there. All he needs to do is throw the in cut. He's got a good play to Hill, and he tries to fit this one in on the outside. And the corner sinks. It's a basic coverage. He sinks in the cover 2, and he makes the interception. It's a great play. Bad read by Tua, and I am concerned with him, and I'm concerned with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, they've got to get things figured out very fast if they want to still stick around and make the postseason. Pete Prisco, thank you for kicking it with us this morning with your winners and losers. Make sure you check out the All Things Covered podcast. Patrick Peterson and Brian McFadden, they have you covered. The Vikings beat the Giants in their most recent game thanks to a 61-yard walk-off field goal. So I'm sure when they get to that, they will have tons to discuss. Like and subscribe to All Things Covered.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.